good evening, good afternoon, and perhaps even good morning if you're joining me from that side of the world. Thank you so much for joining me for the first episode of something I'd like to call 3D Shenanigans Season 2. Good evening, even. There we go. I Killed Elvis. Thank you so much for joining us from Twitch and Rebel Bubble. And of course, thank you, Rebel Bubble. I really appreciate that. Very, very nice. And welcome, of course, Christina and Brian. Very nice of you to drop by. So, start of a new chapter of the 3D Shenanigans, whereas previously in what I'd like to call Season 1, those were kind of tutorials in which I had prepared a topic and I would explain it, and there was not a lot of time for interaction. I'm trying to change this up a little bit. So, the Season 2 and going forward isn't going to be so much a tutorial thing, but it's something I needed to do anyway, or I wanted to do anyway, and you get to watch over my shoulder. And it's kind of more like a collaborative working together type thing, you know, chip in, have a look, and if you have any ideas of how I can improve or change my workflow, chip in and I'll have a look at it. I'm still working a little bit on the setup, but I think I can keep an eye on the chat right in front of me. And yes, I've got a kind of a static shot that I've set up here. Let me show it to you. Let me do this, and then if I do that, you get to see my desktop. That's what we were thinking. There we go. Perfect. So I've got this highlight thing here. We're using Blender today, and that is really all I can say for the setup. I'm trying to build something today, and Norwich, wow, so it is definitely evening. I Killed Elvis. Oh, really? Echo? No way, that's uncool. Let me fix that first of all. Let me do the echo thing, because echo ain't good, is it? What's going on here? That's good. Maybe we switch that off. How about that? Echo gone? Yeah, now we have a video echo. Ignore the video. Audio good? That's better. I love it. Great. Thank you so much for letting me know that. That was, one of those things. There. So now we have desktop sorted, audio sorted. That's really good. Now we can get on with some meaningful stuff. So I'm trying to build a title sequence for my game stream. So going forward, I think I'd like to make more than just one title sequence and distinguish each kind of format that I'm doing with a different type of title sequence. So what we're building today is for the gaming channel. I need another one for an interview project I'm working on called Creative Minds. So that is something that we're going to explore going forward. So this is for the gaming channel. I'm going to show you something if I find it. That's a video echo again. Let's ignore that. Troubled desktop, also ignore that. I'm trying to figure out where my current title sequence is. I think it was it in here? Could be in here. There we go. So this is JPlays version 1. Let me go and show you this. This is literally the first version I put together in under 2 hours. So it was literally super fast, which is why it looks the way it does. Patrick, hey, good morning and welcome. No, good evening, I should say. Lovely that you could join us. I don't have my applause board here right now, so otherwise I would give you a round of applause. There we go. So this is the first thing that I brought in from DAZ Studio. Let's watch it one more time. And this is literally without any changed materials at all. This is just in Blender, and I just set up the camera in Blender, but left everything else as it is. Hence the materials, like on here, on the theater and all that, they look a little bit rough. So they were not tweaked at all. So this was the first version I made there. So the carpet looks, it could do with some improvements. All the stucco on the walls, that's all way too big. It shouldn't really look like that. And of course, we're going into the cinema, so it would be nice if we'd have something moving on the screen there. So that's the first version I made. And that is something I have improved upon already. And that is, God, I should really get organized here, shouldn't I? JPlays version 2, there we go. Okay, cool. So this is version 2. I've amended that with a few other bits and bobs. So this is how you can see I've made most of the materials smaller now, most of the loop materials. And I've also made the whole title sequence a little bit longer. So I thought, the previous 10 seconds, that wasn't enough. But it's still just rendered with Eevee. There are no lights in here. That's all exactly the same. And I've added a moving video into the screen and adjusted the aspect ratio there a little bit. So, that is something that I've already done. But of course, it could do with an improvement. This is not done in Blender, that was just in a video editor. So there's a lot still to be done. This is still Eevee. This is kind of a preview render. So ideally, I'd like for this to be a cycles render. And the other thing that you'll see is that every material looks exactly the same. So we have lights in the ceiling, that's also very nice, but we don't have a real light, you know, something that makes this look dramatic. So on the inside, that would be a little bit more dimmed, and the screen would light up. So we need to make that happen. And what else we do with the light in this little room in the middle here? This needs to be darker. Perhaps we're going to put some light strips on the sides. That's something that I'm planning. And the foyer, yeah, I would imagine that these things are actually lights. So we'll see how we can do that. And these sometimes, or those things here on the board there where you can buy your triple popcorn combo and all that, that just needs to be, those things will probably be illuminated. So yes, it'll be a challenge because I know not a lot about materials in Blender. So maybe you can, yeah, exactly, dust particles, that's exactly right. Those types of things. Eventually, I would also like to have people in here. It doesn't have to be anything special, but just a few characters, maybe silhouettes of characters that are kind of walking around. Rod from the Girls from TNA has kindly offered that perhaps here, his Girls from TNA could be sitting in the front row and like throw popcorn up in the air. And we'll see what we do. I don't even know how to do most of these things. So right now I just want to focus on getting some lighting right, that it looks okay in cycles. But yeah, there we go. That's what I'm planning to do. Thank you guys. Let's see how great it's going to be once we get working on this. I'm using Blender 2.8, of course, and this is the file that resembles what we've just seen here. So that's still my camera. And it's been a couple of days since I've worked with Blender, so let's just familiarize ourselves with what it looks like. Perhaps we're going to start, in fact, in the outside here, 1300 frames. Let me just go and switch this over to cycles real quick so that we get an impression of what it looks like if I'm going to do this with cycles instead. And there we go. Okay, nice outside lighting. I'm using HDRI here, so that's almost something we can probably leave there. That background, I'm not too bothered about that. Maybe I'll find a better one. So outdoor lighting is already kind of, you know, I might make that evening. This could also potentially do with something like an illumination. If we make that night rather than day, that'd be cool. Let's see what the inside looks like as we get closer. It looks pitch black, of course, because we don't have any light sources. That's interesting. So oh yes, I've got one collection here. That's the whole set from DAZ, and then I've made another collection here. That's just my stuff. So yeah. I don't really know. I think the movie titles there, I Killed Elvis, I think this all came from Iron Man 13. So they've made all these things up. I think is that, oh yeah, there is a light. That's just the default Blender light. Don't even know what that is. Let's have a look. That is a point light. Oh, okay, very strong point light. Okay, that's interesting. Perhaps then I'm just going to turn these things here on the ceiling into lights, and then I'm going to turn the posters into emissive surfaces. That might help to at least brighten up the room. And then I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but maybe we'll just go and put something like a very soft floodlight from the ceiling, so that we just have a bit of a base light there. Let me try that. YouTube's good, Christina. That's good. That's very good. Yeah, Rebel Bubble, I find that these things are they're kind of very related these days, aren't they? They're very, I find gaming and 3D movies, they're almost converging there. We've got we're getting to this point where things are literally converging, I find. Whoops. May I select that? Can I select that? Why not, indeed? Oh, I can select it. What are we rotating around here currently? Isn't that supposed to be... Huh. There. Phew. Lost my orientation there for a moment. So these things here. Let's see if we can... Whoops. No, collection. How do I get out of this? There. Whew. That's what I meant. So these things, let's examine the surfaces here. Those surfaces, I think they should light up, shouldn't they? I don't remember which of these things I've set up for a proper shading workflow. It could be this. Could be that. Yeah, I think I have. That was it. Can I get rid of the timer? At least make that smaller. Yeah, so this is just the regular shader we have here. So in order to turn that into an emission shader, I believe I just go and click. Oh, you've got some lag there on YouTube? Oh, okay. 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 Nice, Patrick. I'm so glad you could stop by. I haven't seen you in a while. How's the shoulder doing? I've been meaning to ask. Julia's been going to physio, so hers is getting better, but it is a long process. So yeah, absolutely, no problem, Patrick. Drop by whenever you can. Awesome to hear. Really glad to hear that. So if I go grab that emission shader. And emission, I'm not entirely sure how to do all that. I think you just go and put the emission into the emission. Is that what we do? Potentially. And we put the color into the emission as well. I think that's how it works. It may not. I don't remember. Let's see what happens if we go and do the EV. No, actually, let's do the cycles preview up here. Let's see if that does anything for us. Oh, really, Rebel Bubble? That's exciting. Well, in that case, welcome aboard. That's really nice to hear. See, this is not how it works. That's interesting to see. This is not how it works. I have made it work though on the movie screen. See, there it is on the movie screen. I have already implemented this. That this is now an emission shader. So let's see if I can go and select that. Should we not see that down here? Is that not how it works? I guess it isn't. The movie screen. There we go. Perfect. So how did I do that then here? So, oh, I just put the color into the emission shader. That's a little hack, but it worked quite well. So let me, it's kind of cool. Let's do that. Yeah, and Rebel Bubble, just to clue you in on the whole process of what 3D Shenanigans is and why what I'm doing here. Earlier this year, I made some live versions of my 3D tutorial. So that was always my plan to try and do some 3D stuff live, but it meant it was costing a lot of time to prepare these things as tutorials and then do them live. So it is actually much easier to present tutorial type content in as uploads. And I'm gonna go get rid of that. Let's put the color into the emission shader here. Haha, very good. And so I was trying to find a way to rejig the 3D tutorials a little bit that makes it more possible for me to do them more often and also do more viewer interaction. So there we go. That was the idea. There, look, that's what I'm looking for. That sort of effect here. So we'll just do the same thing on the next thing. Color into emission. Awesome. Get some lighting going here. So those materials here, they're all more or less the defaults that come in. So I haven't actually set any of these things up. Really, we'd have to go through every single material in Blender now and create a new material preset and add a new shader to them. When you bring in an OBJ, it doesn't really help you there much, which is a shame. Maybe there are maybe there are ways to do that, but hey. Hey Dreamlab, thank you for dropping by. I don't have my applause board, otherwise, I'd be doing this now. But hey, next time. Oh, I could say Mr. Batsu indeed. Yes, I like them both actually. I like Mr. Batsu, and I also like Dreamlab too. Oh. So the foyer, that's not what we're. Why is this so? Why is this not looking good here? I don't understand. So I think I need some more light here. I could turn these little bits and bobs into literally emissive objects. I think I could do that. Let me try that actually. That's a good idea. Let's try that and see what that does. And then I think I'm going to just add a regular lamp, or like an emissive surface from the top. It'll be off camera, but it'll just get this whole thing flooded in with some base light. I think that's what I'm trying to do. I remember that Node Wrangler exists, but I don't know how to use it, Christina, I'm afraid. So if you could remind me, that'd be really cool. Maybe that'll help my workflow. And hello, Rod. Super nice to see you. So what I'm doing here, I'm going into edit mode, and then I'm trying to select one of these lights. Of course, unsuccessful. I'm also trying to literally just zoom in on one of those lights, and that is also not something that appears to be possible, even though I'm in edit mode. It's crazy. Surfaces selected. I can select these things. Not all of these things. Why not? That's weird to begin with. Why can't I select that? Am I in the right collection? Has that got something to do with it? No. Huh. That's not good, is it? Exit sign. That could also be one that we can make light up. I seem to be only able to select the billboards at the back and nothing else. That's crazy. Oh, because I'm not in the right object? Is that it? Yes, that's it, isn't it? So that's got to be connected to something else. There, haha, gotcha. Okay, these things are made up of several little surfaces. So I'm going to go and select the linked faces here just by selecting L while I hover. So this selects everything. When I hover over that thing, I'm just going to click L, and that selects the whole thing as a light. I'm not really concerned that it selects the top part, which I guess in reality that would probably be chrome, and then this would be something like the light surface. I'm not going to care about that. I'm happy to just, for that thing to just be a new material that lights up. And hello, Joe. Very nice to see you too. So principled BSDF, that is literally all we get. Whoops, that is all we get. Yeah, let's go add an emission shader to it. Emission, boom. Emission now has a green output, so that's not something we can connect to something, I don't think. We don't even need the emission shader, actually. We can just go get rid of that. We can just crank the emission up. That's probably what's gonna help us out here. I'm hoping, I'm guessing, you know, this is all just complete guesswork. Select by material. Yes, let's see if I can, if that is actually defined by material. That'd be really helpful. Oh look, that's interesting. So it's only done the light there, but not the inside. That's weird. I thought that, could have sworn that is selected. Huh. And it has indeed selected all of these things. Okay, let's see if we can do this by material, Christina. That's a very cool idea. Materials are, where again? Is it this? No, that's layers. Materials. We do that in object mode, I guess, right? Is that right? The final, this one here. Yeah, good. Thanks. Oh, well, actually, this one here. There. Metal wall mid. Plastic. Oh man. Silver, glass. So we can probably extract something from these. Okay, so red, glass, silver, speaker, plastic, light switch. Ugh. Oh, now changing edit mode. Okay, let's do that. There we go. So if I now select something, does that mean it'll show me, oh yeah, light. Haha, very good. Christina, thank you so much. Great. So then we can just turn this material into something emissive, and that should be what we want, right? So then in an ideal world, when I select that here, does this show up here? It does, doesn't it? If I just switch this to frame, yes, perfect. So I just go select that material. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you. And now I'm going to go crank up the emission here. Maybe a little overkill. Let's have a look at that. So that should now show me all these, anything that's defined as a light should now light up. That's a theory. And it does. Look at that. That is very cool. Yeah. It's not enough, and we need more light intensity, but I think it's a start. Our foyer doesn't look that dark anymore. Very nice. Ooh. Concession walls, button, speaker, grill, base, screen sign. See what else we have? Screen sign, frame, light switch. Glass, that's cool. We can turn that into an actual glass shader. Metal, we turn that into metal shade. That's nice. I like it. Silver, glass, and red. So we're gonna, yeah. Okay. And if we let cycles render long enough, it looks like we're getting a bit of just, you know, base lighting there. But I don't think it's enough to illuminate the room. Let me go back to the lights thing here. Light, there we go. I've already cranked it up to as white as I can make it, but also it doesn't really have any other emission information than literally just the white. So this is not an emissive shader. I wonder if we could just try that. So rather than make it a principled BSDF shader, we're just going to go and I'm going to try and add a a proper emission shader to this. So in this green thing, that's kind of nice about Blender, that it shows me whatever's green can only be connected to something else that's green. So I can't connect. I can connect the yellow to yellow, blue to blue, gray to gray, and so forth. But you shouldn't connect like a green to a purple. That's not going to work, because whatever emission value comes out of that isn't going to be. This is not going to be useful as a displacement value. But as an emission value, I should be maybe bring it down. Just watch my lights up here. Put that into there. Nothing happens. Oh, strength. Okay, let's do strength here. 100 maybe? Anything? No. What a shame. 10,000 maybe? No. That's a shame. That's not how it works, is it? What a shame. Could crank it up even more. The volume node. Like, put that into the volume node? No. That's not it either. I could have sworn this is how you create an emissive surface, but perhaps it isn't. Like you, I'm not an expert on materials in Blender either. Maybe we can work it out together. How else would we tell a surface, hey, you're now emitting light? We'd set up a surface property that says emit, my man, and then we would tweak the color of whatever is emitting. So let me go and tweak the color here. Look at that. The color doesn't actually change. So that shows me that we're doing something wrong. Oh no, actually I do get a pink tint. What happens if I turn it blue? Do we get a blue tint? Yes, actually we do. I can just about see that coming out here. So this is kind of how it works. We're just not working it correctly. I'm going to put it back to white. Normal light, yes, that's the next option, that we just take a lamp and basically put a lamp into each of these points. That's just, so much work. I'd much rather just use the materials and tweak them. What happens then if let's go get rid of that and we put that BDSF back to the surface input? Is there anything that we can, subsurface color, is there anything we can do here on emission other than just make it white? Is there anything else that we can use, how to crank that puppy up? So it's looking for a yellow input. The yellow input that's just color, isn't it? And in the previous things, like these things, they light up nicely because I'm giving it a texture input, and it's then the texture that makes it light up. I wonder if we can do something similar by putting something of a color in there. Yeah, I can. Okay, let's have emission. It's an emission shader. So the thing is, it takes a color in that shader, but it takes something green out. And green, I think, is an emission value rather than a color. So I'm thinking if we take just a color and there's a mix RGB value, that should do the trick. And we just pick a color here, make it white, and put the color into the emission. Does that do anything? It does not. Okay, that's not so good, is it? Yeah, so I guess then the only other option that we have here, other than working out how an emission shader actually works in Blender, I'm glad it works on these planes here. I'm glad about that. But yeah, so then I guess the only other option that we have is literally to select something like this here, bring the cursor into this. Oh. I'm going to circle select this, and then I'm going to go and put the 3D cursor onto this spot, like onto this. I could probably could just select the vertex here. That's even better. That vertex, select a tiny orange dot here, and I want to put the 3D cursor into that. I've also forgotten how to do that. I'm doing that so that the next object I'm creating, like a light source or like another piece of geometry, will be created at that spot. How do I search again in Blender? That was F3 something, wasn't it? F3? That was not it. Was it F3? Yeah, there we go. Cool. So cursor, snap cursor to world origin, snap cursor to active. Snap cursor to active. Yes. Haha. Awesome. Success. So now let's go and add. Oh, I'm in edit mode here. That's not what I want to be in. I want to just put the thing there, go back to object mode, and then go add light. Make it a point light. Yeah, make it a point light. And that point light is where now? Oh, here. Oh, yes. Let me undo that, because it's not really where I want it to be. I want it to be in a different collection here. Maybe in the tech collection. I might move that around, but this collection, that's just all the materials that are already set up, so I don't want to do that. So a light, point light. Yes, there we go. Point light 1 is now created in here. That is very cool. Let me go back to cycles and see what the 10-watt output of that looks like. Let there be light, my brothers. Let there be light. Also, why can't I move my thing around here anymore? Mouse wheel no longer, oh, there we go. No longer reacts to my input. That's not good. I do still see some kind of effect from our regular emission shader here. It's just not very strong. So bizarre that. Bizarre that. Let me bring the light out just a little bit down here. So with the light selected, I guess it's G, and then it's maybe Y. Is that what it is? No, that's not Y. It's maybe GZ. Is it Z? Yes, there we go. Just to put it in front of the light source there a little bit. I don't see that big an effect. I do see something on the ceiling here, but maybe I'm going to make it a 100-watt light bulb and see what that does. That certainly illuminates that corner there quite well. 100 is probably a tad too much. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, Rod, you get some coffee. Right, right. 100, so 100 is a bit much. So let's go 20. Because I'm imagining we have quite a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those here. I think 20 is a cool idea. Let's do that. That's cool. So I'm going to go and duplicate that. I think that's just Shift D. That's duplicated my light. And I'm going to go and grab that to, what is that, X perhaps? No, yes, X, look at that. X goes here. Yeah, I'm just going to position those roughly, and I'm not going to do that in the cycles mode. That's cool. Duplicate that again. GX along to about here. I mean, I'm imagining they're all sort of lined up-ish. GX, something like that. Shift D, click GX, put that guy here. Shift D, click GX. People like Ian Hubert probably can do this 4,000 times faster even without editing, but it's okay, it's cool. I saw his talk on the in the Blender conference. Whoops, that was not such a good idea. Undo lags a little bit in Blender, so if ever you do something undoing, it does tend to take a little bit of time. I accidentally duplicated the thing at the back there. I didn't want to do that. They didn't release it? Oh, that's crazy. No way. GX, boom. Oops. Oh, come on. All right, lights in place. Let's see what it looks like. With so many 20-watt light bulbs on there. What do you think? Shall we make a new collection with just with lights? I think that's probably a good idea, isn't it? Yeah, that makes it more illuminated there. I can also imagine we could do with some lights just here in these little cabinets there. I would imagine they would just light up better. I see if I can do that with the emissions tweak that we had earlier, like that I used here. I think I'd like these things to light up as well. And that, I suppose, the popcorn machine, that's probably glass. So, and this is probably glass. So we'll see if we can turn that into actual glass materials. That'd be kind of nice. Oh, I can make like 10 duplicates at the same time. I didn't know that. I thought I had to do this like individually. How do you do that then with the shortcut if you need to duplicate one and turn it into 10? Do you know there's another question about light sources like that then. There is a way to, I forgot which program had that. I think it was Carrara that had something like a master level, like a master type shader. So if you had 10 individual light sources and you wanted to increase or decrease the properties for all of them, that's really tedious to go into every one and it's very error prone. If you wanted to do that, there's something like a master shader that you set up and you just tweak one property and then it adjusts the 10 things that you duplicated. Duplicate links, that's the one. Yeah, so not that's a good idea. Yeah, exactly. You do Alt D, and that's a good idea. Link duplicates. I wonder if we should do that. I mean, this is, since this went rather quickly, let me do that. I'm going to leave the first one in place. That's very cool, Christina. That's a great idea because if I now tweak light number 8 and turn it just to demonstrate the effect, the color here, then only light 8 has a different property. And if I go to light 7, I'd have to, if I wanted to make that the same, then not every light would be the same. That's a very, very good point, Christina. Let me do that. I'm going to go and delete all of these. Now we're back at point light number 1. And so I'm going to go Alt D now. So Alt on Windows and Alt on Mac. This is all just, No, no, I want the same light. I want the same light to be at the ceiling there. So no, I think the same light's a good idea. So Alt D, point light 2. Ha ha ha. Select point light 2. And I'm going to switch the cycles off again. That was GX. Put it to somewhere here, I guess. And once again, right? Alt D, GX. I like this. I like this. Instead of Shift D. So Shift D creates a completely separate duplicate, but Alt D creates a linked duplicate. I like it. I like it. D, G, X, boom. Alt D, G, X. If you do that often enough, it does really grow on you. GX, pop that here. Alt D, GX, put that here. Ooh. Let's test the theory. Our counter here. Let's test the theory. All right, light, yes, I like it. Because this is one of the issues. If you were to say, I want all my lights to now be orange. Yes, look at that. Awesome, Christina. That is fantastic. And it looks like it doesn't matter which of the items I select to change the property then, right? I could now select like point light number 4 and turn that into blue, and then all of them turn blue. Haha. Do you think it's also good for how quickly the scene renders? Somehow Blender seems to perform better with this. Very nice. With meshes, right? Okay. It does sound like instances. Yeah, exactly. Nice. So make them white again. That's nice. And perhaps while we're talking about materials, let's see if we can have another play with the glass thing. So I don't know anything about making a glass shader in Blender, sadly. That would be really nice, or a metal shader for that matter. Maybe we can find out together. That'd be kind of nice. So those are the two things I want to do. Yeah, we have time for that. So I'll find the glass material in a moment, and also I'm going to go and see if that's actually a cheaper, quicker option. These things here, those movie posters up here, I think I'm going to go and turn those into emissives as well, just with the hack that I had earlier there. This is going to just look nice. Let's do that. Let's do that first. That was in probably not texture paint. Probably also should have saved my file before I selected another workspace there in Blender. Even though 2.8 is the release version, I'm not entirely sure how non-beta it actually is. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go and save as Cinema 5. Somebody told me click the plus button. Whenever I do, it doesn't really work. See, it totally doesn't work. 5, there we go. Ha ha ha. It does work. Okay. Version saved. I like it. So where was I shading? There we go. That's where I was. Right, there we go. That's this. That's the graphic for the movie poster inside that frame, inside edit mode. And to turn that into emissive, let me just go switch that back into cycle so we can see the effect. Currently it doesn't do anything, it doesn't emit stuff, and it's just a regular texture like these, they're dark, but as soon as I take the color value out here, I just duplicate that into the emission channel, it now lights up, and I kind of like that effect. It emulates these kind of light boxes. I think I want to do that with all these things here. Suppose I have to go back into object mode, select the next thing, go back into edit mode, select the correct surface here, but it's totally working. Color goes into emission. There we go. Now the movie Sarah is awesome too. Back into edit mode, select the thing. Color goes into emission. There we go. Out of edit mode, select the new object, go back into edit mode, select the correct surface. Put color into emission. Oh, possible. Dreamlab, but let me try it actually. That's not a bad call. No, yeah, technically yes, but I don't think if they're separate objects, I won't be able to select two surfaces at the same time in edit mode, because look, I can't currently. If I go to the next object, I can select the object now, but if I go into edit mode, I can select surfaces in this object, but nowhere else. You know, when I do that, it just deselects whatever I wanted to select. So I think there'd have to be merged objects for that to work. Good thinking, though. Color into emission. Boom, okay. That's that taken care of. Now let's see if we can do the material selection. Don't we all, DreamApp? Let's see if I can do the material selection now and see if I can put some kind of a glass shader together. This should be, we should be able to see this in Eevee, I would imagine. Eevee does glass shaders, right? I would imagine. Let's see that maybe. Okay, let's just stick with cycles. Might not be the best way to do it, but so like this. Oh no, actually, we want to go by materials, don't we? Could this be glass? Materials. Glass and metal on the popcorn machine. Let me see where that is. That would be nice. Christina, you have to talk me through it. I don't think I have the material library. The Blender one, you mean? The one that's like the Blender one. I don't think I have that active. But yes, let's do that. Let's do that. That would be really awesome. Just bring in a material that already exists rather than creating one from scratch. That is very, very cool. Let's do it. Preferences, add-on, search for that add-on. Material. You are such a star. Thank you so much. Material library. I haven't even looked at that yet, Christina. That's very cool. So that's that. That should be active now, I think. Now, of course, comes the next part. Where is it? Configuration, render, measure it, annotations, collections, 3D cursor. Go to the materials tab and scroll down. Materials tab. That's not this one, right? That's that's this one here. And scroll down. We have surface, displacement, material library. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. Select a library, cycles or cycles templates. That is super exciting. Maybe just cycles materials. Materials, okay. Takes a second. He says, yes, ha 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 ha. Very nice. car paint, cranberry juice, diamond, fake shading. I love it. Glass, glaze. That could be it. See if there's any other glass here. Basic, fake, and glass glaze. Oh, that's exciting. Let's try that out. Now, if we were to go and just select the popcorn machine's glass, and we just go basic glass. Do I just double click it? Is that how it works? Or do I drag it on? That is exciting. Oh my God. The material, let me just go double click, click, and maybe we should do a little preview here to see if it actually works, if it's already applied it. I don't even know if it does. Oh. On the right side of the material field, the globe, oh, this thing here, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Really? So you just select a thing. This is the shader browser in Blender that I've always dreamed of. And look at that, we have popcorn on the inside. As soon as Cycles comes in, this is it. Oh my goodness, look at that. There's real popcorn on the inside. That is seriously cool. Whoa. Kicking it is also a nice idea. Just out of curiosity, let me change the render engine from Cycles to Eevee. I just want to know, because I have a feeling Eevee is just going to do the same preview there, or a very similar preview that we can be super happy with. I'm imagining, don't let me down, Eevee. Don't let me down. He's still thinking about it. It's a little shy. It takes time, rethinking one render engine to the next. It's all difficult. Okay. Right. Yes. So I can see but he's at least showing it as some kind of a different material. So that's very nice. Very nice. Do you know, the same thing happened to me. I went to the bathroom yesterday, the day before, and it was dark, and I stabbed my middle toe on the left foot. Oh, crazy stuff. No more skin left on the front, on the top there. Oh, crazy. Well. That's glass. Whew. Why don't we try the same with metal? Oh, let's do that. So I'm going to go back to the materials library here, because the other thing on the popcorn machine, that's the metal for the popcorn machine. I suppose those are the hinges. Oh, how exciting. Metal. Not basic glass metal, just metal. It's metal paint, volumetric light, metallic paint. We need to probably do something like, it'll be like steel or something like that, right? Galvanized steel, yeah. Plasterboard. Let's do that. Click the globe with the material selected, and hinges have changed. Did you see that? Certainly have changed. I like it a lot. Let's have a look at that in Cycles. That is too cool. Christina, thank you so much for the tip. That is really, really nice. And it doesn't really matter if it's just basic materials. It's just anything other than the non-shaders will look cool. I'm sure it will. Look at that. It's actual metal. Oh, because materials is one of those things that is just, I think, one of the very, very difficult things in Blender to figure out. And I wish there was a proper shader browser, but maybe with the material library we're going to get that. That would be really cool. I think this is, I'm already very much enjoying this kind of format, that we can work these things out together and then all benefit from it. I've recorded a trailer, by the way, a couple of days ago. I'm going to make a separate channel on which these things will live. So rather than them also being on my main channel, I'm going to stream them on my main channel, but the archives, much like on my game streams, the archives of these things will live on a separate channel, also called 3D Shenanigans, aptly. I'll put a URL together. I have it already, but this long. It doesn't fit on the screen, so I'll send one out as soon as I have it. So I suppose we don't have a popcorn shader. It's okay. We don't need a popcorn shader. What else has this thing got to offer? There's rubber, chrome. There's more glass here. This is very cool. Let's pick out all the things that are glass, and we'll see what we can do here. Basic glass will be just fine. This is glass. We're going to go put that on. There's metal, popcorn, metal, a sign. Anything else? There's a light. There's more metal. I wonder if we can also do something like get our set favorites, that sort of thing. That'd be kind of cool. Oh no, we set steel something, don't we? Galvanized steel. That's perfect. Put that where that metal should be on as well. Did we even see a change? We didn't, did we? I think I do like the idea that the popcorn machine, if we find this here, that the popcorn machine also has a sign. Oh yeah, there we go. Sign. That's probably the signs on the side and on the front or whatnot. I like the idea of that also emitting light. So I'm going to use the same shading hack that I had before there. Under shading with this guy selected here. Popcorn machine color also goes into the emission. There we go. And then the next thing that shall behave the same way. Color goes into emission. Ha ha ha. Go back to my layout, see what the popcorn machine looks like now. Might be, Rod, that might be a good idea. Oops. Yeah, so that because popcorn machines have that, don't they? They've got this little light coming from the top there. Yeah, let's try that. I don't see I see this one emitting some light. I don't see the front one emitting light, which is a slight shame. Maybe the material isn't quite applied in the same way there. Oh, there's the front popcorn sign. There's another one. Okay. Gotcha. Let's do popcorn sign as well. Yes, a little light on the inside, Rod. Let's do that. That's that. Checking the light. So currently this preview render that is made, if I understand it correctly, yeah, there we go. That's nice. That's nice. I suppose it's also, yeah, now it's like that all around. This preview render that we're getting here, if I understand this correctly, Cycles can currently only do this in CPU mode. So this can't be rendered with the GPU. Only when you export the image, when you render the image for real, it will do this with the GPU. I wonder if they're gonna change that. Do you know anything about this, Christina? Like these sides here, they should also light up, I guess, you know. But let's do the light, like Rod said. That's a good idea. I'll go back into this mode here, into working mode, and I wonder if I could open the door here. I think I can I? Oh yeah, look at that. This is literally just the door. That's its own object. See if I can find that here, because then I can just go and make that invisible. There's a little pot and everything. That's so cool. Popcorn machine pot. That's so cute. So I'm gonna go into edit mode here and place my cursor into this. It's just somewhere into here. It doesn't have to be absolutely accurate, but yeah, just so. Yeah, that's perfect. That's going to be enough. So I'll go and create a new light, another point light. Shift A. Whoop, get out. There's got to be a shortcut here. I'm back in object mode. Let me go back into edit mode. That's where I've selected my surfaces, and now I want to put the cursor there. Is there kind of a shortcut menu there, kind of that I can link to my quick favorites. Something along the lines of snap cursor to active. Yeah, that'd be good. That's in View 3D. See if I can find it. View 3D. Anybody? Render, edit, file. Because I'm using this so often, I'd love for this to right, okay. Oh, so maybe next time we'll meet on this occasion, we may be already using 2.81. Who knows? View 3D, where do I find that? View. Where do I find the cursor thing? How to put the cursor to the selected thing, Christina? How do I do that? Shift S. Yes. Thank you so much. Shift S, cursor to selected, followed by 2. Boom. Very cool. Great. Shift S. My goodness. Yes, that is. It's now that you said it. It does indeed ring a bell. Point light goes there. 10-watt point light. Could be good. Could be good. I'm gonna move it up a little. Is that Z? Yes, it is Z. Let's just move it up to here. See what it looks like with its default setting. And I appreciate you sharing it with me. I really like that. It's not quite what we had expected with the point light. I think I may just move that. It's at the right height, but it's not quite. I'll just move it down again, like where it was before. It shines from the inside of the pot. Maybe that's cool. I don't know yet. Make it larger. Let me see what happens if I do that. I didn't know the size of a point light actually had an effect on anything. Nah, it's a point, isn't it? Point's a point. I'm just thinking of bringing it forward a little bit or something. Yeah, slightly up and forward, I think. GY, no, not GZ, a little bit up here. And GX, no, GY, a little bit forward, just so that it illuminates the front of the popcorn there a little bit. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think we like the sound of that. G, is it X? See how quickly my brain forgets. It's unbelievable. There. Oh, also what happens if I put the popcorn door back? Door is back. Oh, now I can see the point light because it reflects in the glass. The point light might not be a good idea. Maybe we'll just use an area light instead. Just make it a really small area. Yeah, exactly. Great minds think alike, Christina. Absolutely. Could put the popcorn door back out of commission. Oh yeah, it's now outside the machine as well. Let me go put that back then. Oops. Light, are you with me? There we go. It's a shame that I can't actually see the area. Like in a, if I were to just create a little emissive surface myself, that would kind of help me to to visualize the actual area there. That would be nice, yes. Let's try that. Emissive popcorn. The whole popcorn could emit like green light or something. That'd be cool. I've had really good news today from Adobe. Yesterday, I'm gonna make this thing smaller, but maybe not 3 meters. That's maybe not realistic here. I've had good news from Adobe. I'm looking into Premiere currently, Premiere 2020, and I can't afford the whole Creative Cloud package. I'm going to delete the light. I'm going to try and make it with a. No, actually, I'm not going to delete the light. I'm going to put it back to point light, and I'm going to put it behind the thing somehow. I think I'll do that. And there, so Premiere comes. It's a video editing program, and Premiere comes with something called the media encoder, and that is something. Whoops. That is something that can. Man, it is Y, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. That is something that can transcode your files for you. So very useful tool. I've been using it a lot on my Mac, and I do like it. And the latest version of Premiere appeared to not come with that anymore. It only media encoder. The wording was media encoder only comes with the full suite of Creative Cloud applications, not when you buy Premiere as a standalone application. That doesn't work. And so I tweeted to Adobe, hey, since when has that changed? Because in the past it was all one thing, and they said, oh no, the wording is wrong. You get media encoder, it's no problem. And I thought, that's very nice. So I'm super happy again about that. That area light, that's just not working for me. Specular to 0. Yeah, I'm going to turn it back into a point light. I'm just undoing my steps here. Where do I do that? Specular, do I have to use nodes for that? I would imagine. Strength, emission. Because I don't see any other options to tweak that here. There's only cast shadow, multiple importance, and custom properties, and color and power, and size and max bounces, but no specularity setting. There's preview here, but that's not what we want. Oh right, yes, that may well be possible. Well, I've just discovered something else here. So when I say use nodes on the lights, it uses an emissive shader that it builds for the light. The cool thing about it is we can now go to the shading tab and just see how Blender has built that. Maybe we can learn from that. So emission goes indeed into surface, and that's then light output, right? That's how that works. Okay, so it's a different type of shader. Just thought I'd check it because, it's interesting. Well, let's put my door back here, my glass door. It's not great. Can you imagine I turn it into sunlight? That's gonna, no, it's not a good idea. Not a good idea. Spotlight, empty. It's got to do think I'm just going to leave the light out. Sorry, Rod. Maybe we can work it out another time. Yeah, I think that light is just a bit too difficult. Yeah, I'll just delete the light. I'll just delete the light. See what else we can turn into exciting little surfaces. Like there's the hot dogs here. This could probably be a glass door, I can imagine. Let's try that. Glass ice cream fridge. Well, it says ice cream fridge. Not exactly what we want, is it? There's the ice cream. There's the metal. Ice cream light fridge for ice cream. Ah. So if we were able to turn that into a light, does that have a light here? Wait until it's rendered, Rod. That's what I'm looking forward to. Like the next version of making a proper render in cycles. It'll take a while, but I think it's but I think it's gonna be worth it. Do we have something like a light? Look at that, we have an invisible light that we can use as a surface there with the material library. That is interesting. So if I go and just select that and turn that into the light fridge for ice cream. Let's do that. Let's apply that. Oh, hang on a minute. That hasn't done what I thought it was going to do. Let's get rid of that. Yo, invisible light. Get out of here. I think I've done something wrong now. Did I save my project? No, I don't know. That's crazy. I thought I'd just go and apply the invisible light to the thing that says light fridge for ice cream, but that didn't seem to do the trick. Or maybe it did do the trick and the icon didn't change. That's possible. Let's do the same with the metal now. So I'll go use my steel thing again. Galvanized steel, that's cool. So apply that to here. I see this is weird. It now puts this into here, but it doesn't apply to the thing I'm using. Is that because I'm in edit mode? Should I know? Yes, it's because I'm in edit mode, isn't it? Yeah, so let's go get rid of that. I see my point. I see my problem here. So metal fridge. Yes, that's the spirit. Has that done it? I don't really know. Maybe I'll tell you what, I'm going to go and undo this, then save my project, and then try this again before I screw anything up. That is never a good idea. Cinema 6, all right. So do that, galvanized steel, and kind of changes the name of the material. Or maybe that's what it's meant to do, I don't know. So that metal, we're also going to make that galvanized. Now we have glass. Black fridge for ice cream. Let's do the glass thing. Oh, that is exciting. Basic glass. All right. What's it going to look like? Oop. I'd kind of hope we could look into the thing. But alas, we cannot. What's the door defined as? I'd like to know. This door here. That's just empty ice cream. Okay, cool. Let's make that glass as well, because I think that could benefit from being glass. Yes, now we can look inside. That's exciting. So then I wonder then also if the light fridge for ice cream, that if we just turn that into that invisible light, is that a good idea? Actually, yes. Oh my, look at that. Oh my, look at that. That is cool, isn't it? It's got that blue fridge light in there now. That's very cool. Ooh. That is really exciting. So that's how we can apply lights to surfaces, then just add that invisible light there. So out of curiosity now, it's emitting something like a blue light. If I were to go into my shading tab now, can I see how that's made? Yes, I see, look at that. This is how it's made. My goodness. What does that tell us? Do you understand that? Light path is camera ray, is shadow ray, goes into an add node. Adding these things goes into the mix shaders factor. Anyway, this is here's the color that we can choose. If we wanted that fridge not to be blue, if we wanted it to be green, I guess this is where we're gonna do that. Good. So I suppose then, oh man, I really have to look at this material library, because what else have we got here? New, add, remove, reload, apply. A little ghost thing. Little wrench icon. Christina, this has worked out so well. Look at the blue light in the fridge. That's really cool. That's the invisible light. That's really nice. So there was a light material defined here. It just wasn't the correct one. Man, with this, I'm really excited to keep going then and turn all the objects in the scene into something more meaningful that don't quite look, as stunning as they could. That's really cool. Very nice. So I wonder if that's also then a way to turn other objects that we want to have defined as lights into lights. Such as these things here. Let's just go while we're at it. That red emergency lights with glass and silver and all kinds of stuff. That's very cool. What other light do we have here? Volumetric light. I wonder what that's like. Should we try that out? See what the volumetric light is all about. So that's the emergency light above the door. Not something, amazing or whatnot, but if we were to turn the red emergency lights into volumetric light, let's try that. Oh, sorry, it needs to that. Volumetric light. Take a look at it. Because I suppose then you can also define your own just light presets and go and make that. Is anything actually changed here? Volumetric light, dust particles and all that. I can see it now. I can all see it now. So that hasn't really done what we wanted it to do. Let me go and undo that. Takes a while. Yeah, I don't see a difference there. Okay. Turn it into invisible light instead. That should now be blue, I would imagine. Oh, the invisible light's just this. Oh, I see. I thought... let me find out what the... surface is that is actually defined as a light here. That's the glass. Okay, cool. It's the glass. That's the silver light. That's the plastic. And the black. Oh, okay, that's that, and this is that. Okay, cool. So we really want this then here. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So we need the glass. Right. Glass. We want to be invisible light. I always double click. I'm thinking, you know. Christina, do you know if they are planning to turn this preview into a GPU accelerated preview? Is that in the planning within cycles? Perhaps not. Maybe that's more like what they were. Why they even introduced. Why they introduced Eevee, I guess. Maybe they're a bit orange here. Let's try that. Faster preview here, that would be really helpful. Like real time would be really helpful. But I guess that's what Eevee gives us, so. Oh, Vulkan, yes, you said. Yes, you said. Vulkan. And that's not just Mac specific, right? That's just, I suppose they're using Vulkan as a cross-platform thing in that respect, right? I'd imagine. I'm going to have these three things light up as well, like we had before here. Plastic soda machine. Like the front here. Plastic soda machine. That. Goes into here. That. Man. Goes into here. That. Goes into here. All right. Right, yes. That was metal, right? Yes, I'm getting confused. You're right, exactly. And they wanted to do a Vulkan implementation with metal. Was that what they're planning on Mac? It's all just over my head, really. As long as we get tools we can use, we're all good. Some kind of toy we can play with. I wonder why we're doing materials here. If we should. Because these blocks, they look a little bland. I wonder if we just go and, oh, those are candy cabinets. Now I see it in the materials here. This is probably another nice effect we can achieve if we go and turn the front bit into glass as well, and perhaps try and add a light in here that we didn't quite get in the popcorn machine. We'll keep trying. Maybe it's just a small area light that shines from above. Maybe we'll try that. So this could be cool. Let's try. Let's see how we can do that. There's glass here in the candy thing. Use basic glass once again for that. There's also the glass and the concession counter. Those are two types of glass. And then there's a lot of candy here. Okay, let's put glass in here. And we can put glass in there. Look at that, we get reflections already. That's really cool. We can see candy on the inside. Not illuminated yet though. But yeah, we're gonna totally make that happen. I wonder where that other glass was then. Was that on the back? Was that how they did it? because that's just cabinet material. Or maybe it's the glass sheets on the inside. That could be once the front glass and then once it's like the glass on the inside. Oh, very, very interesting. Let's put a light in here. See if we can make that work. Actually, there's another cabinet counter here. So while we're on the switching things to glass thing, must really stop double clicking here. It's just one of those things. It just looks like that's what I should be doing. Glass and glass. There we go. So put some lights in here. Make the candy light up. Shift S, thank you. Cursor to, looks like a little slot machine here. Cursor to selected, perfect. And now I'm going to go and create another light, but I'll do it in a different, there. So light spot area, no, actually that's not how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and create a mesh instead. Small little plane. Small little plane like this. That should be enough. Scale it along the X. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. No. Bring it down. Bring it down a tiny amount. There we go. And turn it into an emissive surface. It's one of those keys. Exactly. That's exactly my point. Turning it into an emissive surface. I wonder, since we're in the material thing now, I think I have to just create a new material for that. I just like a material zone, I think, on my new object. I think that's how I have to do it. And now that it is a material, I think we can now go and just go and pop that onto just that light thing onto there. Is that what we should do? Oh, good point. Let's do that. Very good point, Christina. All transformations there. Thank you. Good point. Very good point. So boom. Invisible light. And before we do anything else, let me go into shading, because that light I don't really want to look. It hasn't retained my selection here, has it? That plane. No, it has. Yes, I'd like for that light to be white, ideally. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I'd like to find out more about lights in regards to how they might work within Eevee. That'd be really helpful. But ideally, you'd set all of these things up in Eevee, and then you have the real-time previews, and you're all super happy and all. Feeling the plane is probably reversed, it's probably shining up, not down. Oh, the exit light is now white, is it? See, this is what I thought. Maybe it doesn't retain my selection there. Let me call this thing something else so that we know this is the counter light. Maybe is that counter light inside? How's that? There we go. Let's do that. Yeah, so if I'm clearly selecting that here, object, and I'm going into shading, it looks like I've not actually changed the light in here. That is bizarre. Let's go and make that blue just so that we get some kind of sense of what have I actually changed now. Is this now, are the exit lights blue now or what? Because this obviously hasn't done anything. Yes, so it is actually the exit lights that I've changed there. That's terrible. Even though I've selected counter light inside. Who's in charge here? Thought you had to have a lot of patience with DAZ Studio. You have to have just as much patience with the Blender. So I got a shading. This thing is quite clearly selected, and that material is also not really. Yes, it's 2.8, Christina. It's where was it again? Here, there we go. Splash screen. That's what I was looking for. That's the one. The 2.8 release. Right. Oh, it's not synced. Oh, I see. I see. Right. Okay. It's, yes, it probably is. I guess. But now that I'm in this mode, oh, it's got this invisible light, right, rather than whatever material I've just created for here. So I should really call that, or rather, let me just go back into here so I know that I've got the correct thing. Counter light inside. So now if I go into the shading thing, counter light inside is definitely active. Yes. So if I now make that pink just to be difficult, and I go back to my rendered view, yes, tenor in my pocket says the emergency lights are now pink. Yes, they are. No, actually, it's completely different lights are now pink. Now the fridge lights are pink. That's not confusing, is it? That makes all perfect sense. How about the emergency lights are also pink? Yes. Not that I know. I don't think so, Christina. I just applied the same invisible light from the library once again to the material. So I would imagine they're not linked. But then again, maybe they are. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, because I've renamed this one here counterlight inside, and if I go and select this object, it's also now named counterlight inside. I've got this twice there now. Oh, right, okay. It kind of gives us a nice little insight into how the material library works. If you drop in the same thing twice, it still remembers that you've already used it, and then it doesn't put a separate object in. I guess it's the same thing. So that's interesting. Yes, correct. As in, I'm using it 4 times, right? This is being used 4 times. Is that what it means? Well, now that I've clicked it, I have a separate instance. I've got this and that, so now they are actually different things. Right, yes, they were linked. You were right, Dreamlab. They were actually linked. Right, yes. Well, that's difficult, isn't it? Well, maybe then under shading, I should now see two different things here. And this one I'm going to make white. And then this one is still purple. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Which one's which is anyone's guess, really? Counterlight inside, yeah, that's using 3, so I'm going to go and turn that into just counterlight inside. That's really the light, isn't it? And then there's the other light, which is in here. Is that what it is using now? Let's call that emergency lights. And then this here, I suppose that's then the fridge lights here. That's also called counterlight inside. My God. Oh, ouch. Fridge light then. So I suppose all the basic glass things are also then linked. Is that right? Yes, 8 instances. Okay, cool. Yes, I get it. Fridge light, because I like the blue thing there. So let's go make that, or make that green. Like the energy drinks are all kind of green, aren't they? Oh, Fortnite energy drink is blue. There we go. Let's make that blue. There. Now that's turned blue. Oh my God. So these are the freaking emergency lights now. So the emergency lights are white. And it didn't even change. I'm confused. The user field. This still says counterlights 2, so this is definitely the emergency lights. It's going to take 7 years to build this title sequence. And that's definitely the fridge light. It's probably quicker to do it actually in DAZ Studio because the materials are all set up there and then just put up with the ghastly interface. So then we've had our cabinet here. With the counter light inside, which had a counter light inside material. Perhaps that also explains, Christina, why the industry is using Blender as a modeling tool. And that's the end of it. Maybe that's why. Because modeling is really nice in Blender, and the results are really nice in Blender also. I'm trying to rotate this thing, but also the origin of my light plane. I have a feeling it's shining up rather than down. I could do that here, can't I? Yeah, let me do that here. But the origin point is not correctly set. How do I do that again? Origin, snap cursor to world origin, origin to 3D cursor. There used to be a menu. There we go. Origin to geometry should do the trick. Great. Now we can go R, perfect. RX. Yeah, there we go. RX. Very hard to see what the normal is and what isn't. So the lighter surface, like this one here, that's the normal, and this one, the darker one, that's not the normal. So yes, I am shining upwards. So I suppose the light is emitted from the normal. So RX 180, then it's shining down. I'm hoping now we can see the effect of the light plane that I've set up here. Oh yes, I can see a little bit of light happening here. So all we need to do is just make that a bit, just increase that a little bit. I can see it coming out. What's the status on the asset manager, Christina? What release is that planned for? Counterlight inside. Let's remember that. Counterlight inside. That is actually the correct thing here. Oh. 283. Hey, that's not that far away. That's not that far away. That's only, so if 2.81 is around the corner, that's like 6 months away, really. Oh, that's nice. End of April. Yeah, there we go. Do you know, days just disappear like that, don't they? They just go so quick these days. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, why isn't there any light here? I wasn't looking at the candy cupboard. So there, emission strength, I think this one I'm going to crank up to maybe like, I don't know, I'm going to be adventurous with 50. I see no difference. What a shame. Thought that was going to be the magic value here. 1,000 maybe. No. Oh, let me guess. I'm changing something that wasn't going to change. The emergency lights are now red again. Pretty sure I've changed that. That's terrible. Yeah, so I don't see an effect of my light at all here. Good point. Let's see that. Let's have a look. Is it X? No. Is it Z? Yes. Good. That's rotate, isn't it? So aha. That's a very good point. So it was shining all the time, all along. Let's just thank you. Good, very good point there. Let's go back to 20, shall we? Even 20 is still too high. I'm sad to say that they're not shining through here. So maybe there's more, like all these things. Maybe they need more light. Yeah, I suppose you could literally duplicate that and put one in each of these slots here to make it look better, but I can't see myself doing that for here and for there. I suppose I could also rotate it. Man. Was it Alt D? Control D. It's Alt D, isn't it, to create a duplicate there? Could shine into it, that's possible. I could literally use this one, isn't it? Because that is more or less invisible. I'm gonna go and create another one. Just move it down there. So Control D to create a linked duplicate. G, Z, and just move it down. I'm hoping it has the same material on it. Yes, there we go. Ha, so that's not that difficult. Not that difficult. Control D, G, Z, move it down. Okay, can be covered. And perhaps 3 is still, now that we have 3 of them, maybe it's still a little bit too much. So maybe turn that down to 1. That's not bad. And now we're going to go and create another one. I could probably just create all of them. If only I could select them. No, I can't. What a shame. Does anyone remember what I called it? Probably just plain or something. I thought it was something like counter light. Counter light inside, there we go. Those 3. Counter light inside. Counter light inside, thanks. I'm gonna go and do Control D here. Is that how it works? And hit click. No, oh dear. Can only, that was Alt D, isn't it? Alt D, there we go, perfect. And select, and G, and is it Z? No. G and Y? No. Is it G and X? Yes. Fantastic. There. Lights have been duplicated. Yes, exactly. I was going to make a new collection for lights anyway, so I'm going to go and turn all these here. And new collection does not come up, of course, because that's be too easy. Is it M maybe? M, there we go. M new collection. We're going to call that lights. Lights. So now we have tech and we have lights. That's perfect. And some of my lights in here, those are, they can also go in there. Why does shift, like click shift, click last object, not select all objects in between? It doesn't do that. Move it to lights. There we go. Nice. Do you know, I was wondering that as well, because I may have removed it myself, because this is, I was looking for that earlier, Christina. Good point. Good point. Let's have a look. Was it in viewport? I may have switched it off. 3 viewport access is off. Really? Pretty sure there. That or simple. Yeah, interactive. There we go. Good point. I was looking for that earlier. I usually use that as a point of orientation. So yeah, very good point. So I think maybe this is a good place to stop here. There's a lot more to be done. I think we can actually, before we stop, maybe I'm going to go and try using the exact same plane that we have here inside the popcorn machine. Let me try that. That should be something we should be able to at least slot one into place. Come on, that's got to be possible. Counter light inside. I'm going to go and I'm going to make it copy of that. So that's Shift D and click. No. Where is that thing now? Had it not copied that? crazy. There. So Shift D X. There we go. And it's a copy. I'm going to call that popcorn light. Popcorn light. There we go. Cool. And then we'll go and move that G now. So but this is a bit of a tricky one, Christina. Look at that. The moment I press G, and the moment I actually need to see the axis, it disappears. Observe, please. G gone. Uncool. That shouldn't happen. The one moment you actually want to see the gadget, it disappears. They should do it the other way around, that I don't get to see it unless I press a modifier key. That would be a good idea. Unless it's only in the rendered view. Let me switch back to the unrendered view. I go G. No, it also disappears. Just typical coders. We thought it's amazing. Let me remember. So Z is up. GZ. It's expected behavior. That's what Apple would tell you. Now, we meant Xcode to crash every time you try to build your project. Oh, really? Is that? Yeah, no, that's expected behavior. It's been like that forever. We don't want that to change. Well, let's see what the popcorn like area light looks like now. The move tool, like the gizmo thing, like this thing here. Yeah, I suppose. Okay, fine. I'm so used to using these shortcuts in Blender. I do actually like them. Now, I'm going to go click on this again. Call the material popcorn light. Now that we've figured out that that's what we're supposed to do, popcorn light, I'm going to crank that up a little bit. Maybe start with 2, see if 2 is good. Maybe that can also be a little bit orange. Maybe use 10. Yeah, look at that. I like that effect. I like it. Then it emits light into the outsides here. That's very nice. Very nice and neat. I like that. Popcorn machine, we like you. Certainly popcorn in there. I think so too. Is this like nice butter color, or should we make it a bit more orange? Let's try it out. We don't want to overdo it, but it certainly should have that warm. Yeah, that's too much, isn't it? Yeah, definitely a bit of a tint though. I'm with you. I like that. I like it. Well, let's see what else we can do next time. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I really appreciate that. I think this is a nice format. I think I'd like to do more of that, because this is what I would fiddle with anyway. But all this, let's all chip in and see how we can work things out. I think this is really nice. This could help all of us. Love to do more of it. Thank you so much for all your input, especially Christina. You're such a guru on the Blender front. I really appreciate you taking the time and exploring these things, and for us all to figure out how to make this into a useful program. I haven't really got a dedicated title sequence for this, beginning and end, but I can look into that. I can maybe just reformat the city fly through that I have there. So maybe I'll have that ready for next time, which maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. We could do this again tomorrow. Let's see if we can make it happen. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you perhaps tomorrow, same time, same place.